The only thing living in this world will be metal.
Go ahead, what? Hello, hello. Are we on? Holy shit, we're back on. Are we for real back on, Derek? All right. Man, it has been an evening. On the production side, we got some major issues going. I have no clue what they are, but we're trying to get them figured out. I really, really appreciate you guys sticking with us. We've been busting our asses trying to make this thing happen, and it's finally coming to fruition. And then we're having all kinds of problems. We're gonna do what we can to ensure that it doesn't happen again. So anyway, Aaron, are you with us, buddy?
Hey, buddy, what's going down?
Not a whole lot. I don't know if anybody caught anything from the beginning. So you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna start from scratch. How do you feel about that?
I'm down. I'm
right.
gonna need more of this tasty beverage, though.
Just holler at your wife.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably in the next room, isn't she?
Hey, don't do it.
All right. Hey,
My
Aaron.
beer's empty.
I'm Noah. You're Aaron.
I'm Aaron.
What's our one commonality?
Metal.
There we go. Fucking metal.
Well, and rum too.
Well, I mean, we have a lot. Aaron, come on. Is this show about rum and about children?
It's not all things rum. You're right.
No, it's not. I mean, that's a big part of it, but it's all things metal. Son of a God.
Booze.
You're Derek. Cut Aaron's mic. He's gone. He's gone. He lasted 20 seconds on. All right. So Urban Dictionary. Or I'm sorry. What is it? The whatever one of them smart dictionaries is. What do you call them? Oxford Dictionary. That's what it was. It defines heavy metal as an aggressive and heavily amplified rock music commonly performed by groups that wear spectacular or bizarre costumes. Aaron, your comments? Do you feel... Okay, hold on. Before we go any further with that one, let's see what the Urban Dictionary, because I hear this is a big thing with the kids these days, is this urban youth. The Urban Dictionary defines metal as a misunderstood type of music that cannot easily be appreciated if you haven't heard much of it. Mm-hmm. It may take a long time for you to warm up to, but as soon as you do, there's no turning back.
Yeah, that's right. I would agree.
Yeah, but do either one of those give you any kind of idea of what to expect from heavy metal? Like anything at all?
Hang on.
I don't feel like either one of those. If I didn't know shit about heavy metal and I said, explain heavy metal to me. You're a metalhead. Explain it to me. And that was their explanation. I don't think that that would make me want to listen to it anymore.
Well, yeah, I agree. I mean, but misunderstood is the key word there. It's always misunderstood, and that's the problem. And that's why you get dumbass definitions like that, is because people go, I don't really know. That's and then they look at Slipknot, and that's what they define heavy metal as. And not that Slipknot's not a good metal band, but
the person that made that post in Urban Dictionary, their kid was probably a Slipknot fan, circus 99 2000. Slipknot first record when it was scary, and Mudvayne was doing it, and that was kind of the big new metal / that whole scene. But yeah, how would you describe it?
Heavy metal has to have heaviness.
Okay, well,
I don't know how far back we got.
Heavy to you?
Well, I mean, heavy, like we said earlier, I don't know how much of this got on the original broadcast, but heavy is a really slow, sludgy breakdown, crowbar, black tongue, detune, that kind of shit. It's those kind of, but it's also Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies is heavy, and it's
the heaviest
acoustic.
records ever written. Oh, okay, yeah. And so let's be clear. I think you and I both agree, but there is sonic heavy, and then there is emotional heavy.
Hey, how about this? There's what's heavy to you. There's also what's heavy to me.
And then there's no other exceptions. Everybody has to have one of those.
Yeah, right. They have to fall into one of those.
They have to fall in the line.
But,
come on, plebs. Just listen to what we're saying. We are the gods of the... Go ahead, Aaron. Sorry.
No, but that's part of what is good about metal and what's bad about metal. And it's also why we have 9,000 different subgenres, is because what's metal to, okay, for example, a slamming grindcore band may think they're the most metal band in the world, and they may think the stuff that bands like mine and yours do is not metal. Or, or we sit here in 2018 now, and stuff that used to be considered metal, say all the way back to Shout at the Devil, and you want to get really picky about it, you go into the glam metal stuff, and is that metal? Well, now we just say, well, that's just rock music.
You're losing me, Aaron. You kind of dated yourself and went back a little bit there.
Well, I understand it, but the point being is metal is many things, but at the end of the day, it's heaviness. But it has to have.
And I 100% agree. It has to be heavy. Metal in general has to have that term heavy somehow be applicable to it. But I also agree with what you're saying that heavy is in the, for lack of a better phrase, heavy is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? But it has to be relatable. And I think the best part about metal from any other genre of music is that it's the connective sinew that attaches itself to listeners. Yeah, I mean, I dare anybody to say, oh God, worst part of my life ever. And then I heard that new Drake song featuring Shakira and oh my God, I just, I had a gun in my mouth and I took it out of my mouth and I set it down. And I said, no, I will live on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying those, I'm not throwing other music that I don't really care for under the bus and saying it's worthless. However,
But it is.
But I don't feel that those other types of music have the connective sinew that metal has. When metal connects with listeners, and I know that you can attest to this, and I can definitely attest to this, and every other person that we are even in any way associated with can connect to this. And it's all a different song. It's different for you. It's different for me. It's different for everybody else. But all of us have that song. And it was that one metal song that you connected with that literally, whether or not literally you had the gun in your mouth, figuratively, lowest spot in your life, this song helped you. This song brought you out of it. You connected with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best quotes I've ever heard in that scope of thought is, I want to say it's on the History of Metal documentary, that little 20-part thing or whatever that came out a few years ago. But anyway, the quote is from Rob Zombie, and he said, "No one ever says, dude, I was really into Slayer in the summer of 2000.
Yeah.
No, you're not just, for like 6 months, I really dug Slayer. No, man.
No.
You've seen this music, and if it latches onto you, you're done. That's it.
Yeah, you're done.
Forever.
And it's
forever you're a metalhead.
You might have your album that you bounce back and forth with, yes, but that band didn't have just a time.
Well,
that band
this music, this movement, this music, it's not something you're not a metalhead for a couple of years. Once it latches onto you, if it really latches onto you and you really are a metalhead, you're a metalhead forever and ever. Like I imagine when I'm 80 and I'm sitting in a nursing home and I'm shitting my pants with no teeth, I'm still going to have earbuds on listening to Pantera.
And you know what? If you ever were a metalhead and now you're not, it's because you married the wrong woman. Am I right?
Well, I'm still a metalhead. I don't know where you're going.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like you said, it always sticks with you. Well, if somehow it falls off, then that means you married the wrong woman, because you don't necessarily, and I'm not saying you have to be with a chick that's a metalhead, because I know your wife definitely isn't. Mine isn't.
Not in the least.
But that doesn't matter. They still let us. That's kind of that. You're going to be 11-year-old boys the rest of your life, and it's silly and it's ridiculous and it sounds like bullshit to me. It does not appeal to them at all. They just kind of understand and let us be boys with heavy metal, you know. But again, But anyway, hey, let's move on to another segment here. You and I have been talking about this for a while. It's one we're gonna call the All Things Metal or ATM Heavy Metal Draft Pick. You want to get into that?
Sure. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go?
Why don't you go first, man?
Okay, my draft pick of the week is a band I was turned on to back in around the Halloween. Buddy of mine, mutual friend of ours, turned me on to a band called Chemist, and from Chemist we learned about this band Abrams out of Denver, Colorado.
Yes.
3-piece, kind of a sludgecore band.
3-piece that sounds like a 12-piece.
Yeah, and right? That's what blew me away. I mean, I've heard the records, and they're kind of the way they were sold to me is Baby Mastodon. Okay, so fuck, I love Mastodon. So keep talking. I really like the record.
The band real quick, but what's the song?
Can't Sleep. Can't Sleep is what we're looking
talking about it. Go ahead.
Anyway,
queued up.
So we go up there to see them live. They're playing on a bill with Chemist, who I would imagine by now everybody knows who Chemist is. But if not, then I'm gonna introduce you to them at another time. Anyway, I've never seen a 3-piece band fill a room with sound like this other than maybe Rush. And I know that sounds it sounds sacrilegious to say something like that, but holy shit, man.
Right?
Everything you hear here, it's just huge, and they're massive live, and they all sing, and it's just, anyway, this is Can't Sleep. Check some of this out. Dare to say they're even heavier than this and bigger than this live.
That is
here in about 20 seconds. It's going to get to the hook. Don't quite kill it yet, because this is one of the hookiest choruses you're ever going to hear. Anyway, the guitar player is he like plays something and he'll loop it and play something else. And he's got 2 or 3 guitar parts going live. Again, other than Rush, I've never seen anybody fill a room with sound like this band, like a 3-piece
give
band.
that a little bit of volume.
Okay, so here. Listen to this fucking shit, yeah. They've got the one album. When we went up and saw them, they said they're working on another one. I've seen some posts on social media. Anyway, great band that I would imagine is just starting to scratch the surface on what they can be. I just hope that this stupid business of ours doesn't hinder them. I hope they're able to stay with it, because we all know
them.
Yeah. It's an expensive business to be in, and I hope they can stay with it, because they make amazing music. Abrams, Abrams. You guys check them out. Who's yours, Noah?
What's the name of that record, Aaron?
It's self-titled.
Self-titled. Do they have any other albums?
I think this is the only one.
Okay. Hey, cool story, bro. Cool story, Hansel. All right, man, I've been listening to a lot of gnarly shit lately. By gnarly, I mean just stuff I never knew about. Like, literally, if anybody listening or watching the show does not have Spotify, I'm not talking iTunes Music, I'm not talking Pandora, Spotify, and spend the $5-6, whatever the hell it is, a month to get the premium. Holy shit. But I've been listening to several different bands lately that I found on Spotify. Darknet is my metal draft pick for the week. This song is called Sedate Me. And about 20 seconds into this song, it kicks into gear. This band has all the elements of, or not all of, but some elements of like nu metal, like oddly enough, deathcore. But listen to this shit. Here it is. This is.
Yeah.
That is
It's the most tasteful use of the DJ sampler guy, other than early Slipknot.
Yeah,
it's amazing. They use it and it's heavy.
Like Fear Factory obsolete, you know what I mean? Like it hasn't been done very well. But dude, this singer, I think the one thing that got me, I'm a big sucker for like super overly produced, you know, new like deathcore bands. I'm just an absolute sucker for this shit. But this band, like their singer, dude, the singer is what locked me in. Like this guy has one of the most like Corey Taylor early Slipknot days, like. Dude, when he's hitting it, you can, I mean, God, dude, it's just, you could expect like just the veins are popping out in his neck, you know, and he's just, dude just got a guttural. Yeah, nobody really knows who they are. I mean, they're not that big of a band, and not just that they're not that big of a band, but they're completely anonymous. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, yeah, when you turn me on to them, it's not only are they not huge, but they're small enough that they have another dark net on Spotify.
That's not them. But not only that, dude, I'm telling you, like this band is completely anonymous. Like nobody knows who's in the band. If they are, they're not saying anything publicly.
Same with Abrams.
Yeah, and like they don't post any pictures of the band. If you read the lyrics and you take it out of context, and that's a whole nother story you and I can get into, or a discussion we can get into. But their lyrics are extremely like dark and depressing, and they dabble on like suicide, like drug addiction, social media addiction, like everything. And God, did we ever think that would be a thing?
Oh wait, so they play the anonymity card, like that's why.
Absolutely.
That's why he's got his face covered? I didn't know this.
And they do all this, but I looked into the band and I read into them a little bit, and man, they like. All of their proceeds and all of their money that they make goes to like suicide prevention and like depression hotlines. I mean, so I don't really give a shit who the guys are. I would like to just simply to like shoot a message and go, fuck yeah, you guys are awesome. But if they feel like that they need to be, you know, anonymous to be able to keep that going, then awesome. It seems like they're doing it for, you know, a really good cause.
That's cool. That's very cool. Even better.
Hey,
awesome.
Hey, let me ask Derek, do we have our guest ready to go? Okay. Aaron.
Hey, yes, sir. Hey, I want to say thanks to everybody for hanging in there with us through the glitches. We're going to get better at this as we go.
We hope.
we're literally kind of flying by the seat of our pants right now, so hang in there with us. Anyway.
Yes, we are. Our call-in number, I don't know how many calls we're going to have time to get to, guys. So just please be patient. Don't think if we don't pick up the phone that it's anything other than we're so far behind today. We're scrambling. Phone number 620-604-9819. Feel free to call in. We're going to take a quick break and then come back with our guest. I've got a really funny story about our guest before we actually have him live. But tune back in about a minute. That's going to be a really quick break. This is All Things Metal.
This is crack. Rock cocaine. It isn't glamorous or cool or kid stuff. It's the most addictive kind of cocaine, and it can kill you. What's really bad is nobody knows how much it takes. So every time you use it, you risk dying. It isn't worth it. Look. Everybody wants to be cool. But doing it with crack isn't just wrong. It could be dead wrong.
To do all this shit and get ready for the show. He's like, okay, I'm on board. So he says, hey, invite me back to or invite me to Skype and this and that. I says, okay. So I'm looking for a screen name. He can't remember what it is. He tells me it's F and Hostile. So I'm looking for F and Hostile. Well, he changed it, didn't tell me this, and then he forgot that he changed it. So anyway, he's calling me from his account because he's found me. And he's calling me from his, and the name that is coming up is a name that I had never heard of, anything like this, but the name was Jack Kennedy Weekly. And so Austin and I finally call this Jack Kennedy Weekly back. And I was like, Austin, I think somebody hacked your account, because it was him. He picked up, and I was like, I think somebody hacked your account. And he's like, what? I don't even, what? Like, he was so shocked at what I was saying. He was just like, had no fucking idea what was going on. And then he finally clicked with him. Like, Austin and I, since 2003, we've always had this thing where we just make up stupid fucking names, like Jack a Dude Off, and like, we've all, The Simpsons started this shit back in the early 90s.
Right.
So if you say this name without stopping in between and you just say it fluid, it's Jack and a D Weekly. Jack and a D Weekly. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? This guy. All right, everybody. Austin Diamond's on the line with us. What's up, brother?
Woo! What's going on, failers?
Jack Kennedy Weekly, everyone.
Jack Kennedy Weekly in the flesh.
How's everything been going, brother?
It's been going really well, man. Just really busy. And yeah, man. The grind is real. How y'all doing?
Oh, it has been a day. I'm not gonna lie.
Same.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you something real quick. You and I have been friends for too many years to count now. Going on the millennium. So we're probably, 15 to 8-year friends at least. 15 to 18-year friends. I don't know if I even know this, but I want you to talk to the listeners about this. What was your first introduction to metal, and at what age and what artist was it? Like, do you remember the first time that somebody showed it to you, or you just fell into it? And talk about that.
Well, I don't know that I remember the first exact time, but basically,
I bet I know who it was with, though.
I bet you don't. No, I'm just kidding.
You're fucking.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
It was, of course, my dad. Yeah, and I mean, I would be willing to bet. I can't remember because it was literally as soon as I came out the womb with horns straight out of there.
I bet.
Slayer, Metallica, or Sabbath, or Deep Purple, or just go on with it.
Do you remember how? So that's all you've ever known?
No, that's definitely not true.
I mean, from the earliest ages of listening to music, was it always metal, or was there other types of music?
No. One thing maybe you didn't know is that my dad also listened to a bunch of. He was a well-rounded listener. Let's put it that way. I was gonna say he listened to some pussy shit, but no, because my dad was the most metal ever. Trucks. Slayer,
remember he used to call me a pussy at our early days in band practices, because I would start singing and he was like, "Son, you need to get out of this pussy band." Remember that?
You guys were badass until that fag. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Until that you started
yeah, exactly.
Singing.
Your dad was not happy about that at all.
Yeah, no doubt. No. Why is he doing that? Yeah, but no, he used to listen to things like Simon and Garfunkel and Hall & Oates, like things you would never expect. But like certainly my dad was super well-rounded when it came to music, and even later on when I started like drifting off and I got my aunt's catalog in there, she introduced me to rap, and as you know, I love things like Bone Thugs and 3-6 Mafia and anything that has a gangster beat. That was from my aunt, and a lot of 60s, 70s from my mom, and Beatles, Doors, Zeppelin, huge Zeppelin. And then the 90s was all my mom too.
At what point did you know that that out of all those styles of music, though, that you were exposed to at an early age, how early on did you know that metal was your calling? Like when did you just? I mean, obviously, all those other influences or the things that you grew up with influence who you are in any genre. You know, you're able, like good artists, good musicians are able to, you know, pick from different genres that wouldn't normally fit together and make it their own. But when did you know that metal was your calling?
I mean, I pretty much knew right away. I mean, because it just had the feeling I got from metal was different than everything else. And, you know, like we know, my dad was a huge influence on me, and that was just like what gripped him too. And he would he would get excited to show me whatever the newest, heaviest thing was. We would spend a lot of time just going to record stores and just finding those hidden gems back in the day. Like kids now listen, they're like, what's a record store? But
yeah, you just dated yourself on that one, bro.
You know how old I am now. But,
yep.
We would go there and just like look for the meanest looking record, and you know,
buying it by the album cover. I remember those days, just looking for the most tough ass or dark evil. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean.
Yeah. Or like, what does that even say? I can't even pronounce it. It must be badass.
yeah. Exactly.
What's Sepultura?
Sepultura.
Ultra. Yep, you're exactly right.
Hey, you want to go back and be, you know, talk about, you know, I'm a little bit older than both of you guys. When they first started the parental advisory stickers on stuff, that was like, well, I got to have that. It probably says fuck in it or talks about, you know, something crazy. It's going to be brutal because they had to put a sticker on it. That sticker launched metal, man.
Oh yeah,
metal and gangster rap went through the roof because of that sticker. It
actually
worked. It was totally counterproductive to what they wanted to do.
Yeah, they thought that was going to prevent people from listening to the shit, but it actually, like, imagine seeing Dr. Dre's The Chronic without the parental advisory sticker on. You'd be like, I don't want to listen to this shit.
I don't even care about the weed leaf. Like, I want to use the cuss.
Exactly. Aaron, do you have the questions in front of you, bro?
I do, sir.
All right, take it, brother.
Hey, so other than just the financial aspect of it, I mean, you've kind of climbed the ladder with several different endorsers. How does that feel? What does it feel like to be at the level you're at with endorsements and stuff now? Is it just really nice because of how it doesn't hit you in the pocket anymore? Do you feel a sense of pride in it? Is it kind of like you've accomplished something by getting to this level? Because you're up there, dude.
Sure. I mean, you know, it's weird, and especially that last comment, because it's like I don't feel like that. I'm just grateful, and I never imagined myself getting to this level of, like, I felt like I got more, like I used my growing popularity, if you will, a little bit just because my wallet was hurting, like not because I felt like, man, I'm badass and I deserve to be sponsored. You know what I mean? I was like, I was like willing to take anything. You know what I mean? Like,
oh hell yeah!
I didn't have any money. Like, you know, no, we didn't make any money. You know
hell no. Like, we would have taken the worst guitars, the worst drums. I mean, anything that was free, we would have been like, this is the best shit ever.
So to answer the question, yeah, I mean, to be literally endorsed with the biggest companies, I mean, you know, with huge names is beyond it.
Who are some of those, if you don't mind? You don't mind saying.
So the main drum company is Yamaha Drums.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of her.
And you know, at this time, I'll go ahead and, you know, plug my old companies too, because it was a process. You know what I mean? Before, sure. It's like any job, you get promoted. A lot of people don't just jump to Yamaha. In my case, that was the case. You know, I stayed. Mm-hmm. I started with you remember now. I started with Tay Drums.
Tay, buddy.
So that was my first endorsement, and I was with Tay,
and those were legit too. Those were legit drums.
I mean, truth be told, I didn't know how to tune them, but they were ruled. You know, I'm a more of a grip it and rip it kind of guy. You know,
dude, you're like I am in the kitchen. I'm an eater, not a cook. You know.
Yeah, I'll get it done, and I'll put some interesting stuff. It you know, and that's, I don't want to get off topic, but so anyways, we'll talk about that later. But
okay,
none of that really matters to me, to be honest. I mean, it's who's on whatever instrument. You could be playing on a sack of potatoes, but I mean,
sure,
you know what I mean. But anyways, yeah. So we'll go through Tay, and then from there, I went to D Drum.
Yeah. And
from D Drum, I went to Crush, and I was with them for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then I got connected with Yamaha, and I couldn't believe it, because, you know, I was just like, no way. You know what I mean? All those companies were great, and I have much love, but I never could dream that I would land something like Yamaha with that kind of household name. Just like,
that's the big dog.
Way. You know what I mean? It's actually a little intimidating. But it's rad, man. And you know, they really treat me. All of them have treated me well, but Yamaha treats me so well, man, like family, and they just make me feel real comfortable. And my guy Greg, he's always hit me up and just, hey man, you want to go to lunch? Just anything. Like, he's really just a class act dude, and just
that's
a normal
good to be able to build those relationships too.
Dude, it is cool
business.
when you have some skin in the game and you know the face, and they do just hit you up to do like cool things like that. It's not just about like, what are you doing for me? You know what I mean? And sure, all stuff inclusive, but like, yeah, man, it's cool, you know. And,
well, you're talking about drums, but do you also, do you take part in any other writing process? Like, I know in Bleed the Sky, you did backing vocals live and stuff, but in the studio or anything like that, in the writing process of it, do you do anything else other than just play drums? Are you a one-trick pony, or can you do other stuff?
Real quick, I can get to that. Or real quick, let me just go down the rest of the list of who endorses me just real quick.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So also, I am with Zildjian Cymbals. And that's just, I mean, who are they? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Nobody's ever heard of them.
Quick little history. That's literally the longest standing company, business name owned company, period, in the history of businesses.
Are you serious? Wow.
Older than everything you can think of. Zildjian is like numero uno.
No, bro, you're forgetting about the Bible.
Oh,
just saying.
My bad. But from there, we got I'm with ProMark Drumsticks and Evans Drumheads, and my drum pedal company. They're from Poland. I don't know. I never pronounce this right, but it's like Charche Capito, something like that, something close to that. And then I got all kinds of endorsements that I never could think. I mean, I got shoes, Vradom shoes, Gator cases. There's all just a lot of people.
That must suck to not have to pay for clothes, you asshole.
Yeah, and a big one is Fatal Clothing as well.
I see you sporting a lot of their shit.
Yeah, they're making me a drum wrap right now for my new Yamaha kit. It's super sick. And then I just got this Attack Rack company. They make rad racks. So yeah, man, it's just been an honor. And as of late, a couple of the endorsements hit me up, which is just like, whoa, like talk about anxiety. I'm like, really? You want to give me that? And you want me to bash on it?
you want me to get you want me to take something for free? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, just, but for me, it's all utilize this to its abilities and not squander it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't go around flashing it. I show my respect and play it proudly, and try to give that back marketing wise as I can. Just do the do, and
sure,
what I'm out there doing, man, trying to inspire others to do the same, man. I'm just a dude from the garage,
all humility is saying, and everybody who knows you personally knows you're a humble guy, but I can say as a guy, like when our bands practiced next to each other and we hung out and stuff, I've never seen anybody work harder at their craft than you did. So you've busted your ass to get there. So I think Noah and I both, massive congratulations on where you are as a drummer, because I've never seen anybody work harder at their craft. Like, you guys would get done with rehearsal, and if you made the tiniest of mistakes, then you'd be in there for an hour and we couldn't go party because, you were mad because and you're in there doing paradiddles and shit because you made the tiniest of mistakes. So congrats. You've worked your ass off to get there, dude.
Absolutely,
Thanks.
man. Yep.
Thanks, guys. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, that's just it, man. It's kind of, I never turned back, and I just, that's all I wanted to ever do. And yeah, I got lucky enough to continue to do it. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. Like, there's hundreds of us out there that don't get to continue for one reason or another. I just try to keep positive, keep my head down, and just push forth. And there's a lot of moments of question, and I don't know. I had to go for broke. You know, I'm still not rich.
Well, do you play any other? Do you play any other instruments? Do you write anything else other than just drums?
Fun fact, yeah. I mean, I play some.
I know, but pretend like I don't.
well, no.
Well,
I did
Noah, that's
not
an
write
excellent
any
question.
riffs on our album.
Right?
Yeah. So I was chatting with Noah here. Well, you're right here, but I was chatting with him the other day, and I was like, if you don't mind, shameless little plug, just for fun fact, because it's never really, put out there. But I write a lot of guitar riffs that I'm lucky enough to have, raise some eyebrows from whoever I'm jamming with, and they're like, "Whoa, that's different and weird," because it's a drummer coming up with weird patterns. It's the notes might not always be there, but like the pattern is definitely thought provoking, and I'm blessed with that people are take that on. I go in it with like well, I came up with this. If you want to use it, cool, and it's happened to work a bunch of times, and I just look at that like that's rad, man. That's
inevitably
cool.
too. What I remember happening is you'd show us a riff like that, and we would, it's all right. And then we'd come back the next day, and we would play a riff almost exactly like that, and go, check out what I wrote last night at home. This is the best shit you've ever heard. Austin would be like, you son of a bitch, I wrote that.
Yeah, that's that young guy ego bullcrap that we had. We didn't have much of it, but yeah, stuff like that we would get partial to because it's exciting, you know what I mean? And you of course you want to be like, you want your ego stroked a little, like, hey, I wrote this riff, guys, isn't it rad? Like
sure.
Like sometimes it's even a thing where like I've jammed with plenty of people, and I can remember incidents where like and these are some of my favorite guitar players of all time. I'm showing them one of my riffs, and they're not able to play it right out the gate. I'm trying not to like smirk out of like supreme humbleness. Like, I read that riff, you can't play it right now. It's really crazy. How weird, It's just weird, It's just I've definitely at a young age honed into the idea that this is what I'm supposed to do, and nothing else is stricken me like that in my life.
Well, you say young age too, but I mean, you're no spring chicken like when we first met. Has that played a factor? You know what I mean? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not only a hobby, but this is a passion that dulls a very physical toll on your body.
Yeah.
Is that catching up to you? I mean, are you noticing that at all?
Well, I'm starting to think I should have signed up to play for Garth Brooks.
Yeah, right.
Love you, Garth.
You should have been Crowbar's drummer, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah. But ain't nothing wrong with that.
With that being said, how's your routine different? I mean, you don't have to obviously go into a lot of detail, but I mean, what do you do differently now than what you used to do to keep yourself on point?
Like, are you eating different? You show up to practice back 10 years ago. You'd show up to practice with a 12-pack and a cheeseburger.
Yep.
How has it changed now?
That is the diet of champions back then. Apparently,
that's the 20-year-old diet. That is.
Yeah, that's that metabolism that doesn't care diet.
Yeah.
But nowadays, no. Yeah, it's definitely. I'm lucky to have a girlfriend that has just a rad diet too. That she's helped to show me how to eat, even better. But that really works for me, and I definitely have to be more active to feel better, to feel the confidence before I go in to write some new stuff where I'm like, all right, 230, 240, 250, those sound pretty intimidating to me these days, you know what I mean? But
sure.
I constantly still shock myself, and not that I'm even old, but as you mentioned, I've watched many specials that put, death metal and just metal drumming in the category of a UFC or football player, a UFC fighter or a football player.
Yeah.
And damn it if it ain't true. And my analogy for my style of playing live is even like I want to feel like I just got in a Tyson fight, and I want you to feel like you don't want to mess with me after the show. Like I want you to seem like I'm punching those cymbals like Tyson, so yeah.
Well, I mean, the first step to that is getting rid of them puny biceps that you got going on there. I mean, need to eat some steak, bro.
Yo,
Hey, I'm gonna bounce around just a little bit here, but you're you're absolutely right. But do you have any new projects, releases, anything that you're working on that you're comfortable sharing or that you can share? I hear you're a busy feller.
Yeah, man, I've been busy, and there was projects that I've had ready, even before I joined Devildriver. You know what I mean? Things that I was working on, the just in case ofs, even while Chimera was still a thing, I was working on other projects. I was in a group called Solis Dias, and I did a little of that while I had downtime, and certainly right now, I don't know who out there follows me on the interwebs and whatnot, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, but I got this project that with Rob Arnold and TJ from STEM, that band we toured with a bunch back in the day, called The Elite, and we finally got this thing that we've been working on for 5 years. It is polished and it is mean.
And from what I've heard, it sounds fucking amazing, man. Where I think everybody's really excited to hear it for sure.
And I'm super excited to get that to y'all, and so is Rob and TJ. I owe a lot to Rob. He is that spark that, when I said I held on for dear life after Bleed and just, kept my head down and kept crunching. And, during Bleed, we did that. I met with Rob after that during our first album because the STEM dudes, TJ, had me go out there for their pre-production at the studio. And that's how I met Rob. And we started the Elite right after that jam session. And literally, he is the reason, that I got into Chimera eventually. And from that Elite stuff, and Mark was on one of the tunes. And then, after that, after the Crown of Phantoms record, I met up with them in some of Chimera's downtime, and we began meeting on and off to create a full length for the Elite, and that's finally about to come to you guys. And it is
how far out?
What's up?
How far out is it? Do you guys have a release date?
Yeah. No release date. No exact plan of attack. I shouldn't really go into too much more details other than that it's a thing, and a lot of people have been like, WTF about it, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's not a myth. It is a thing, and we're very excited to bring that out to you guys. And
hey, you had mentioned how people follow you on social media. What are all the ways people can find you out there?
Facebook. I have a Twitter. My Facebook is Austin Diamond. Twitter is
totally adding you.
FNOstyle 83. I'm not really on there very much.
I'm totally.
I feel like Twitter's kind of for me. It's more of a vent place. I don't want to keep it. I don't want to get negative, but I don't know. It's not for me. Not too much. But I'm on Instagram more than anything generally right now. Sometimes good combo of Facebook and Instagram. That's where I live, and I'm comfortable with that. I do have a Snapchat, but I don't really have it anymore. I haven't been on there in forever.
Aaron and I. Oh, girl. Hey, girl. Aaron and I are about to get you way back into the Snapchat. Yep.
We're gonna Bitmoji like a bunch of high school girls.
We're gonna just Bitmoji the shit out of each other and just send the stupidest filtered. Oh no, just get ready, dude. That's a big part of Aaron and I's friendship right now. Is just stupidest possible Snapchats back and forth. No, it's
too into it.
That stuff makes me feel old, and I just kind of deleted it. So don't.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, so talking about your social media profile or presence, you used to give video clinics. Do you still do that? Do you still give lessons? Do you do it just there in California?
So, good. Thanks for bringing that up. So I had an FNOstyle.com, and it's down right now, but I'm getting it back in action. Gonna
2 seconds. I'll be back, guys. Keep going.
Gonna add some features, and I have a store up there that I have a couple things, shirts and little logos and funny sayings and cool this and that that you can purchase. But also, when I figure it out, real quick, I have just got this bad boy. I finally got it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be trying to give some lessons on this bad boy. I'm actually just
Nice.
sitting there, so that's perfect.
Shit.
Whoa.
Can you play it right now? Or
I
is it not
can't,
hooked up?
dude. It's not like I don't have a speaker
Hey.
to it.
Can we put you on the spot live and on Skype right now?
No. I mean, if I had a speaker that was connected to where it like played outside, I only have it to where I can hook it up to my headphones right now.
Oh, okay, word.
So
Gotcha.
that's the kind of stuff I need to get so that eventually we can set this up through. And also behind me, I have like a TV monitor, so I'm gonna probably start setting that up through my laptop. It's gonna be a whole thing, and I'm not very, how do you say, tech savvy. Yeah, so that's gonna take a second, and
Right.
And when I figure that out, though, it's gonna be rad. It's gonna definitely be a sweet thing, and that's another thing. I actually have another app. If you ever just want to talk to me about, you know, business industry stuff, or just chat about, if you just want to chat about drums or this or that, if you don't necessarily want a lesson, there's an app that I'm on called Meethook, MEETHOOK, and it's just an app, and we can go right through here. They have a video sourcing thing, kind of like Skype, like this, but I can do it right from the phone at any moment.
Nice.
You just want to say what's up. I have a dollar amount rate on there. You can check it out. My profile's up in all style on that.
Nice.
So,
Very nice.
With that being said, too, if you had to, and I'm not saying you have to, you can literally say, nope, nothing to bitch about. If there was one thing that you had to bitch about in the industry, what would it be for you? Where you're at now, not where you were 10 years ago and Bleed the Sky, but where you're at now and where the music industry is now. If you could bitch about one thing, what would it be?
The only thing I think, and it's because I'm personal, but I just have a lot of theories of why the industry suffers and stuff like that, and I can't even go real too deep into it because I'm just so thankful that I have this.
Yeah, I'm not trying to turn it negative. I'm just asking.
Sure.
One thing
But
that
no,
rides on you, that if you could change it and make it different, or if you just called, you called me up, dude, I'm fucking so pissed about that. Like, what's that one thing? You know what I mean? If there is one.
I guess it's just maybe I'm just old school, and I feel like because of like I love Spotify. I love all these ways that we can get all this music for free and all of that, and but I can't help but think and wonder, that the industry doesn't suffer more because of things like that, because there's no camaraderie to it no more. There's no personal. Nobody gets into the CD album art or all that, and maybe hipsters do. That's maybe they need to change the whole world, the hipster, and just all records. I don't know how to fix it, but I feel like a lot of bands get lost in the shuffle because it's very easy to. All the same tools that are awesome are also in the way.
They're pretty damning, aren't they?
Sure, and there's just a lot of monotony in the music because people can just fart out whatever, because everybody can just pick up Pro Tools or whatever it is, and if you're smart enough and have ADD or don't have ADD like me, and you can just figure that shit out real quick, you can just pop out whatever and use programmed drums, and like I said, all that stuff is fantastic, and we live in a I need it now world, but I don't know, that's great, you know what I mean? I think that there's only so many Gojira in the world because those bands do it right. They actually get in a room and they're able to, not condone to how everything's going right now. And probably they're in a position to tell the label, hey, trust us guys. You give us the time. You're going to get a record that people give a shit about. And instead of this like Bush League, like, hey, here's like our new deal. It's a 360 deal, but you also need to put this record out in 3 weeks and go ahead, make it the best thing ever. I know y'all rip.
Good luck.
You know what I mean? And it's like,
good luck.
but because we know how good all these artists are, but they don't really get a chance to shine like they could. Like anybody can shred, right? But like that thing that you could play that's so thoughtful and anybody could play it, that's a hit song. That's a hit part. That's a hook. That's the stuff people want. You know what I mean? And
I agree.
Not enough times these days do we have enough time to get that. Hey,
so
that would be it.
So So we've talked about. I'm sorry, no, we've talked about things that are bad. For you, what was your best memory? What was what we would call your fuck yeah moment playing metal, where you sat back, you just went, whoa,
man.
Do you have one? Do you have a few?
I got 1,000, man, because I'm so thankful for all of the moments.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take this one, Aaron, and speak for him and say every single day that he and I were in a band together. I'm just
totally. I mean, honestly, like that's where it started. I refer to those days as the best days of my life. Touring wise, there was, less pressure, the great unknown. We didn't care about anything. We knew we weren't making money, but we just needed to get to the next show. There was a brilliance about that era for me and for us. And, arguably, because of the same statements I just made, I had some of my most thoughtful material in that music because we did get a year and a half to create Paradigm and Entropy.
Sure.
And all of our parts were polished like Grammys, man. I mean, had that thing been in the proper marketing scheme, look what happened when we, when we made the announcement that, we're doing some things.
A fella or two responded to that.
Yeah. So, and I'm super excited about that, by the way. I didn't, we skipped questions. So that's, another thing that I have completed a while back. And I'm excited to get this out with you, bro. Really.
I hear you guys are just waiting on your jagoff singer to finally get shit together so you guys can get moving with it. Does that sound accurate?
Well, I think that's so. But, going back to what I just said a second ago, it's funny because I feel like initially, like we kind of like bum rushed you a little bit because that's just what we're used to. Even us, the music, that's what I'm used to. But everybody's like, come on, man, why don't you got more songs? And it's like, but then I think to myself, like, listen to the lyrical content that this dude writes. Like, act like he's going to come up with that in 3 days. You know what I mean? Like, no way. It's going to be like, no, it's not going to happen.
Well, and I kind of came in, not only that, but I kind of came into the tail end of it. Right. So like you're like a lot of fans that I say a lot. There are 22 listeners right now. We're fucking famous.
We are,
but bleed the sky fans that might be listening to this the first time we've talked about anything, and I'll make it very quick because this is not about me or about Bleed the Sky. It's about you. But you've had your drums tracked pretty much for this record for quite a while, right? And then the guitars and everything. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So a lot of this stuff is material that's been floating around for a while, and now I can only imagine your frustration having your parts done and been sitting on them for that long, and now having to patiently sit by and wait for somebody else to get their shit done.
All I gotta say is I know it will eventually happen, and I'd rather maximize the potential, and I'll be just super stoked and blessed when it comes out because it'll be another moment where we get to put out music together and
hell yes,
just give our gift back, man. I mean,
I think Aaron,
that's the reason I like to do so many projects. I have all the loyalty in the world to DD. Devildriver is my main. You know what I mean? Yep. Everything else for right now comes alongside that. Like whenever we're not doing nothing, like that's
secondary to that, sure.
Yeah, and that's just how it is, and I have all the loyalty in the world to that, but as an artist, I love to be able to paint these pictures constantly, and I have to be able to up my ante and step out of my boundaries and create different things so I can bring different styles to everything I'm doing. And ultimately, it's I think anybody's duty that has these things in their life to give it back to people because it's therapy. You know what I'm saying? I know it is for me.
Right.
So that's the ultimate goal, not the money, not anything else. Just for that smile, we can't repay that. How many times did you hear about the martyrs saving somebody's life? The second that's
Aaron and I talked. Aaron, did we not talk about that earlier? Yeah, we talked about that earlier today. How people have approached.
That changed my life forever, dude. And that was you writing those lyrics, but I played drums on that song. So you were a part of that, dude. Like, I mean, it's just that's when I knew for sure this is it, dude. Like that, you can't put a dollar amount on that. No matter how many dollars I make in my life, we saved a life.
Yeah,
you know?
That's incredible. We could have a whole nother conversation just about that.
Sure.
Obviously, you've been in, I mean, go down your list here. You got Bleed the Sky, you got the Elite, which is gonna just be crushing. You were in a death metal band in Oklahoma City called Infuneration. You were in Chimera. You were in Solus Deus. You're in Devildriver. That is all some of arguably the most metal shit, in my opinion, and I'm sure I can probably speak for Aaron, but some of the most metal shit available. However, I know that that's not the only stuff that you listen to. What is your, and I'm not saying, dude, because you rep hip hop like it's just the best thing in the world, and that's awesome, and I totally respect how you do, even though I don't ride that dragon with you, brother, all the way. Some I do, but not all of it. But what is your guilty pleasure in music? What is one that nobody outside of you and I and Aaron probably know that you listen to, and people are probably going to call you a pussy for admitting it? That's what I want. What's that band? What type of music? Let's hear it. Because you got one. I know you do. If you say you don't, I will fight you over this radio show because you're a fucking liar.
Wow. Okay. Definitely R. Kelly.
He just got removed from Spotify today.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes.
You know why, Austin?
8-year-olds, dude.
Fucking 8-year-olds, dude. Get the fuck out. Oh my God.
The FCC is now listening to your show.
Yeah, right? We're talking about our killing 8-year-olds. Thanks a lot, Austin, you son of a bitch.
Hey, wait. Why is there a white van, an unmarked van in front of my house now?
Right? I hear choppers over the studio right now. You son of a bitch.
Whoever did this, step in there. Backtrack it. You need to know the Lebowski to understand what just happened.
Oh,
my God.
Yeah, I think we all do. Okay, we're gonna, whether or not you want to say something else, we're leaving you on that. All right, you guys heard it was R. Kelly for Austin. Now let's give you an opportunity to redeem yourself. What newer metal, and I'm stay away from the Slayers, Metallica, Pantera, all the shit that we all love. What's a newer metal project that you really like, that you find yourself listening to a lot?
I mean, I think I just said it all. Hold on a second. I can see this other screen and what the hell's going on.
Yeah, that's our producer, dude. Our producer is, although we've had these technical issues today, he is intentionally trying to fuck with us. So you gotta bear with it. It's part of his job. But he'll do this shit, dude. Like when sometimes it'll switch from your face to just a face of a random fucking person or something. And anyway, okay. Anyway, go back to what we were talking about. What metal band or song or anything are you kind of?
I mean, my new Pantera has easily, I think you can agree with this, my new Pantera is definitely Gojira.
Boom, mic drop.
Oh, that's it, dude. That is
yeah,
it
is.
I mean, as far as songwriting and just like, God, and they did it so quick. I mean, but they didn't, like we thought they did, but like as soon as I heard the heaviest matter, matter, say it like that. But as soon as I heard that from Mars of Sirius, I didn't even understand that whole record yet. I wasn't sold. I was so used to deathcore at that moment. I was like, okay, well, it's kind of like whatever. And I appreciated a lot of it, but I didn't get into it for some reason until the very next record, the Flesh, right?
Way of All Flesh.
The Way of All Flesh.
Dude.
Out the gates, front to back.
Ouroboros, that track 1 on that? Woo! Yeah. Oh
dude,
my God, dude.
And I was thinking so hard to Bleed the Sky. Like I was like, this is where we would have went next.
Yes, dude.
Because we were it's just gangster / metal,
oh, dude. That track 2 on that record, the song right after that Toxic Garbage.
Yeah.
Dude, that is a me and you, like a bridge to a song. Like you and I have probably played that riff 100 times and went, I totally forgot what that was. You know what I mean? It reminded me of that. Like that is how you and I used to connect and write. We would just write the coolest.
Yeah.
And, oh, me and you used to remember
all I
we'd get
thought
so
of-
excited you would just like throw your stick. You'd be playing it for about 30 seconds, and you would just
I was
throw
gonna
your
say-
sticks and just like hurdle over your drums and hug me and high five like that's what I'm talking about when I talk about America. That's it. America.
Absolutely. Yeah, all I was thinking of when I first heard that riff was, that video of that dude that does construction, and it's just this the whole time.
yeah, just windmilling the whole time. Yeah. I love those. Yeah, it's like metal at work or whatever. And he's like running a copy machine, and then he's like running a sawzall and headbanging. Oh, that is the
so
great
good.
shit. Hey, real quick, listeners, call into 620-604-9819. That is our number. Austin, we are gonna jump off of here, brother. We love you and we miss you like
Love you
the
guys.
deserts miss the fucking rain, dude.
Thanks for being a part tonight, man. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. Great luck, and you won't need it, but great success to you guys. You guys are badass, and my brothers and family for life, man. I love you guys.
Love you, dog.
Thank you. Love you, brother.
Hey, we're gonna take a quick break. Nobody go away. If anything, come more there. Yeah. This is all things metal.
Burger, fries, and a Coke. Don't bother me. I'm eating. If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face.
I don't know if you guys welcome back. This is All Things Metal. I'm your host, Noah Robinson, the singer for a little country hip hop group known as Bleed the Sky. My co-host Aaron has the bladder of an 80-year-old woman, so he should be returning back. On that other screen over there is my brother from another mother, Mr. Austin Diamond. Say what's up, bro.
Oh, shut, gosh.
Hey, Austin, did you see that commercial?
I was very pleased by that. I haven't seen that since the early 90s.
Dude, you are going to be blown away when I'm telling you the level of professionalism that we have managed to hit without doing a single episode is just mind-boggling. Like, wait till you see some of our endorsements, man. Like that one, that was Carl's Jr. Yeah, Carl's Jr., bro. They fully endorsed us. They're paying for all this shit. I have a feeling they're going to get rid of our producers and get some new ones after today. But they're still there. But they're still funny. Oh, dude, we got Speed Stick. We got all kinds of good ones coming. And I mean, surprisingly, most of them look like they're from the 80s and 90s, but that's just because that's like the stock footage they had to give us. But yeah, we're kind of, we got some pretty big endorsements.
Well, I can see how. I mean, it's obvious.
It's pretty
Down the
real.
roads.
It's pretty real, bro.
Fucking awesome, man.
Hell yes, dude. Hey, did you did you see the post that I made on the All Things Metal site the other day? It was a screenshot from the Urban Dictionary, and I typed in the word just metal,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't pull up like the shit bridges are made of. It didn't, swords are made of this. It didn't pull up any of that. The first thing it went to was like heavy metal, like music, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
No
But
way.
the second definition, it just said metal, and then right underneath it, the definition was better than rap.
No way.
Oh,
You
dude,
gotta be
I
kidding
lost my shit. I was like, that is the funniest definition. That doesn't tell you anything about the music, what it's like, or anything. It just tells you that it's better than rap. Oh,
Acts like that's not a shirt you're gonna go make tomorrow.
right? I know.
It is.
How do we not already have that? Oh God.
Oh my god. See, that's gonna be in your store. That's gonna be in your.
That's what I'm saying, man. We've got a lot of
Sorry,
these
bitches.
ideas, man.
Dude, Webster's is already endorsing you guys. That's
Oh,
Webster's
duh.
Dictionary.
Hell yes, man. I'm telling you, we got big league motherfuckers on our backs. They're wanting some of this. Okay, can we play? Yeah, let's play another one, Derek. Let's see one of our commercials. Do you have one ready? Carl's Jr.'s paying you good money.
I'm Bill Cosby, and the kids in Los Angeles have a slogan, speed kills. They're not referring to safe driving habits. They're talking about a group of drugs, including ups, meth, pep pills, decks, even bennies. Dangerous drugs, sometimes fatal to the users. And you should know about the up drugs. You may even be taking some now and not be aware of the danger. Write for this free booklet, The Up and Down Drug. Don't guess about drugs when you can have the facts.
What he should have said is, don't guess about drugs. Call me. I'll tell you exactly which one will get you the moonanny.
I'll tell you exactly what these are about in your sleep.
Holy shit. Oh, my God. Austin, it has been a pleasure, brother. We love you. Thank you so much again for coming on here. Will you come back onto the show sometime in the future if we holler at you?
Oh, I guess so. Of course, 100%, dude.
No, that's when you say, if you pay me enough, and Carl's Jr. Hofburgers.
Yeah, coupons. I only take coops.
Hell yeah, brother. Man, it was good talking to you.
You too, Noah. Later there, guys.
See ya, bro.
Later, buddy. Hey, so Aaron.
So Noah.
Yo. Did I've noticed one thing after sitting here.
By the way, this is my bedroom, everybody. So
yeah,
that's the,
look at the dresser. That's a dresser. That's a
dresser. That's a picture. That's a down picture and a mic stand.
Fuck yeah, dude. The best producers that Carl's Jr.'s money can buy. That's what we got.
Not even Carl's Jr.'s pickles. What are these on my burger? I said no pickles. There's where I sleep and fart.
Hey, Aaron, let me ask you a question. Do you agree with me when I say that metal, I think one thing that I love about metal, and I think you'd agree, is that it can take on all forms in vocabulary. It can be an adjective, a noun, a verb. It can be all these things. Like you know, how often do we go, oh, that's metal as fuck? We could be talking about anything or doing anything. What is something that is not metal in the textbook definition, but that you feel like when you watch it or you hear it or you see it, you're just like, oh, that's so metal.
I got it.
What is it?
I got it.
I'm listening.
Kenny fucking Powers.
What?
Kenny fucking Powers.
Dude, that's not
bullshit.
No, I'm not saying that's not. I'm saying that's not. Let me finish. That's not okay to do. You pulled the fucking ace out of the sleeve before I even had a chance to say anything.
You asked. Wait, did you ask me a question? I'm sorry you lobbed it up. Hey, I'm sorry you lobbed it up there like a sumbitch, and I knocked it 400 feet up your mama's butt. That's what I do, because I'm Kenny Powers and I'm a superstar. God damn it.
You're right. You're right. That is exactly my point.
But you know what? Wait. But let me back up. Because what makes him metal is the fact that what's metal, we talked about the heaviness, and this kind of translates to that, is by God I am.
Yeah.
That's what's metal about him, is he throws it out there and he makes no apologies. And that's what's metal. It's not because he's an asshole.
Yeah. No, he's not a dick. Being metal doesn't mean being a dick.
No, he's
funny at it.
Right.
However,
it means I am what the hell I am, and I make no apologies. That's what metal is. Metal is that feeling that gets you right there, that it builds you up. It's, yeah. God, I sound like I'm on a soapbox. Oh, my Lord. Lord.
It's okay. We'll let it go. See, and
the old man's preaching. The old man's preaching.
Derek, kill his mic. Kill his mic. He's done. That's the third time he's been fired tonight. We fired you once when you went to the bathroom because you were taking too long.
That's all right.
One that comes to mind to me, I'm a pretty avid gamer. My best friend and I, that's all we do. We're just total homos for that stuff. But man, that new God of War video game, holy shit. That is one of the most metal things I've ever. I mean, you're fighting gods. You're throwing an axe 300 yards off the screen, and simply by holding your arm up like Thor, the axe just comes right back in your hand. Dude, It's just fucking metal. Like if a Monomarth could just be played on repeat nonstop while you're playing this game, it would fit perfectly.
A Monomarth.
Dude, just nonstop, just Viking, turbulent, brutal.
Are you a fan of them?
Of a Monomarth?
Yeah.
Some. I don't think I'm familiar with enough of their music to say I'm a fan.
I think they take the cliche too
Oh,
far.
God, are you kidding me? They wrote the textbook on cliche.
Yeah, but that's neither here nor there, and I don't mean to offend Monomarth fans.
Great.
Because it's
now
not
they're
for me.
not
I'm
going to come
saying
on our
it
show.
sucks. Huh? Now we're
they're
going to
not
get
gonna come
calls.
on our show.
Now, tell me why a Monomarth is my daddy at 620-604-9819.
Okay. Great. Now, okay, so the first caller that's going to call in, Aaron, is going to be pissed off.
He's from somewhere in Western Europe, and he's going to tell me about how much he's going to come to America and cut me to pieces.
Oh, you asshole. Yeah, you did it to yourself, buddy.
Yep. You don't even have hairs, little man. Who are you to tell me what is not metals? I caught you.
Hey, you see this? This is the script for the show that we have. This is what I'm doing with it. It's about how much good that's done. Oh, what do you want to talk about, Aaron? Talk about something.
I don't know. You just threw the script away. Now I don't know what to do. I'm all flustered. Do we have any good?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go see Infinity War tomorrow, and I'm pretty stoked about that. I finally saw Black Panther last night.
Okay.
Pretty stoked about that. Although I think I've seen a couple of memes. I'm not gonna say much louder because I know Lisa's been lucky enough to not have anything spoiled, but I think I know what happens. Okay.
Okay.
Nick.
Oh my Lord. Do we? Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Hey, you guys call in. This is we're kind of new at this call shit, so we're gonna stumble around with it. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Nick. Who is this?
This is the part where you called us, so now you talk. Who is this? What are you calling about?
You call me.
Hello.
Derek, is this some kind of sick joke?
Oh my God. She goes, you called me? We should wait. Call her back. Call her back.
So
call her back. This will be funny.
Our first caller was a wrong number.
No, call her back. Call her back. It'll be funny. I got this. I swear to God, I can ad-lib the shit out of this.
Dude, I don't know if we have enough time for that, Aaron. I know you can. Oh my God. That was, wow.
Okay.
That was really something, guys. The best producers that Carl's Jr.
Hey, do you have new releases in front of you?
I don't at the moment.
I'll tell you something new that came out a week ago yesterday, a band that I really, really like. One of my favorites. They certainly haven't not reinvented the wheel by any means. A band called Parkway Drive, Australian band. Massive fan of these guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate what they tried to do, and it's a lot like I think what Machine Head tried to do on their new record. They tried to do some new things. I just don't know that it worked. But there are some parts of that record that are just good, and there are the parts where I'm like, I don't know. Have you listened to much of either of those new records yet?
No. And that is
anything new you've listened to that we didn't touch on? Something brand spanking new, not new for you, but new in terms of it was just dropped.
Nope. I got nothing, Aaron. Back to you.
Nothing. Well, shit. Yeah, let's go back to things that are not music that are metal.
All right. Do we have a caller?
Reached the voicemail box of 4053206.
What do you? How am I supposed to leave a voicemail if you cut it off, dude?
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're being respectful of like privacy and stuff. Apparently, we're having some major issues with.
Apparently, we're really good at phone calls.
Okay, so again, the number is 620-604-9819.
Papa Joe Anderson. You know who Papa Joe Anderson is,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
First caller, wrong number. Only you guys.
Right? Is that what you said?
Of course. Yes, Joe, you're right. Of course. Hey, how do you know it wasn't planned?
Yeah.
We
Joe,
said
you know.
10 days ago. You know, it'd be funny if our first caller was the wrong number.
Wow. It actually happened. I don't know. I don't know how it did. Hey, oh, what was I gonna say? It was probably really good too.
I don't either. Yaya says Black Panther.
What were you listening to today? We already did the ATM metal draft.
Well, I'm off on Thursdays.
Okay.
So I did my shit around the house day, and I listened to Widowmaker today while I mowed. Do you know who Widowmaker is?
Yes.
They're gonna be probably my pick next week. Super heavy underground band. Check them out, Widowmaker. I don't know if they're 8-string or 7-string, but it's good. But it's low tuned, heaviness, good shit. Really, really good shit.
Hell yeah!
I need to check out the new Tesseract. Nick keeps telling me, a mutual friend of ours, Nick, keeps telling me about Tesseract. I need to check that out.
Yes, you do. And not just the newest one. Like, don't make the mistake of just listening to the newest album and thinking that that's what they're about, because they.
No, I'm a fan. I'm just saying I have yet to listen to the new one.
Yeah. All right, I've got some new album releases coming out. I think the one I'm most excited about is the new Seven Dust.
Hey, that new single is great. It goes back.
Ooh.
Arguably the most underappreciated band in heavy music. Crushes it live. Has crushed it live for 20-something years. Yeah, go ahead.
I agree 100%.
I've been fortunate enough to hang out with those guys a couple of times. Well, I say those guys, mainly LJ, and one of the nicest, most genuine guys in this industry. We'll sit there and just hang out like you're his best friend. Awesome guy. Shout out to you guys. You guys are Seven Dust, I think, is way, 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 way the fuck up here, and they don't get appreciated enough.
Yeah, I 100% agree. What's that? Okay. Hey, we got another caller. We're gonna go to them real quick. This should be a lot of fun.
Caller, go ahead. Speak up.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, we got a couple new releases real quick. Let me get to those. Hold on, I had it right here. Yes. Okay, so we're looking at May 18th. May 18th, we've got Age of Taurus, Alkaloid, Amorphous. God, Amorphous is still around. That probably didn't help him out me saying that. But At the Gates, Five Finger Death Punch has a new album. Gracion, High Priestess, Overkill has a new record coming out May 18th. And then we get down. Now here's some more familiar names. May 25th, Candlemass has a new record coming out. Bleeding Through. Here's one. You ready for this? This is on the heavy metal list, Aaron. Hoobastank.
Wait, funny fact. Do you know what Hoobastank is? Do you know where they got the name? And I think I'm right here.
Do you know?
Okay, so when they were kids, they're playing hopscotch one day. And this old man, I think he's German, down the street, he goes, "Oh, Hoobastank." And they're like, "We were playing hopscotch." He goes, "Da, Hoobastank."
Ah.
So.
Cool story, Hansel.
Oh, my God. Eat a dick.
Jonathan Davis has a new record coming in.
Oh, my God. Can I be first in line?
Yeah, right.
Shit, was that out loud?
Yeah. Neurosis. That one should be really good. Neurosis has a new one coming in.
Awesome.
Thunder Pussy. That sounds exciting. Let's see. So, yeah, that's it for May.
Yeah, we've... we do have a caller.
I want to get into the whole year. What's that?
I think we actually do. I think we do have a caller coming. Bear with him. We're working on some technical shit in the background on the caller stuff. Of course, more technical. We can't even get the phone calls. Hey, bear with us, you guys. I think we've got. And hey, anybody that wants to call in again, 620-604-9819. Call in, be a part of the show.
Yes, please do.
But anyway,
go ahead. What do you feel like are okay? Let's say your top number one biggest influence.
Oh God.
I mean, you can cheese ball it out and say the obvious.
Well, I mean, it kind of depends. When I was a bass player, my biggest influence was Jason Newsted. Then I changed to being a singer because of Lane Staley. I mean, shit, I've even got the smiling skull tattoo.
She is.
But Lane Staley doesn't sing anything like I sing. I just wanted to project that kind of power. So as a vocalist, the guys I probably emulate the most are, in terms of the way my voice sounds, are Phil Anselmo and Randy Bly.
There you go.
But I've tried to grow that more. I'm trying to learn to be even heavier, as music is evolving. But yeah, my biggest influences are, if you put them all together, would be those three guys: Jason Newsted, Randy Bly, Phil Anselmo.
That's not a bad lineup.
A little bit of James Hetfield.
Yeah, you like it?
Well, I mean, you have to understand the era I came from. James Hetfield was metal before Phil Anselmo came along. I mean, he was the guy with that,
But see, I didn't know heavy metal was around in the 50s.
Well, it was.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, do we have a caller?
Caller. Who this caller is?
This is Nick. What's up, guys?
Nicholas Brower.
Wait a minute. Is this the Nick Brower?
Yeah, I hope my picture is correct for the stream. I'm just saying.
Hey, for those of which none of you guys know, Nick helped us. We did a pilot show last week, and our producers played one of the greatest on-air, unbeknownst to the caller, jokes of all time. I'm not going to go into it, but it was amazing. Nick, how are you, buddy?
Amazing. I'm doing great, guys.
For you guys that don't know who this is Nick Brower. Nick Brower and I were in Horse Called War together, and we are currently in Earthshook Run together. Arguably, and I'm not just saying this because you're here with me, arguably one of the greatest bass players in the United States of America. I say that, no holds barred, and I'll put you up against anybody, buddy.
Oh, stop! You talk over all my solos anyway, so how do you know?
That's true.
The best video clip we've got of him shredding, zoomed in, good audio. I spent half of the solo saying how great he is.
There you go. Hey, Nick, we don't have very long. What do you want to talk about, brother?
Well, I wanted to talk about, and this was more of a question for Austin, but I just wanted to comment on Austin. And we talk a lot about in metal about like people who are game changers. You have like Tosin Abasi, from and different musicians throughout our times that kind of changed the game. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about Austin, and specifically of which in metal we hear it now. The kick flam. Like,
oh yeah,
who's gonna give this guy some credit for the kick flam?
Dude, he was the first guy I ever heard do it.
Yeah.
The guy is a beast, and I just wanted to congratulate Austin and all he's doing, and I also wanted to congratulate you guys on your new sponsorship from was it Quaker State Oil
that's one of many. Let's not forget the Carl's Jr. Hofburger.
Carl's Jr. pickles as well.
Yeah, the pickles from Carl's Jr.
Yeah, specifically the pickles.
Ice. We're endorsed by Ice.
Yeah.
like the guys who go round up illegals.
Yes.
No. Ice.
Oh, okay. No, I'm kidding. Congratulations on the show, guys.
What a dick! Don't make me that guy.
Thank you for calling in, Nick. We love you.
Love you, Nick. Thanks for calling in,
guys.
buddy.
Congrats on the show.
Thank you.
Good luck.
All right, brother.
It looks like we have another caller. Do we have another caller on the line? Go.
Yeah, what's up?
Who
What's up,
who
man?
is this?
Who is this?
State your name.
This is Bean.
Bean.
Yep.
Well, what's up,
going on,
Bean?
What's up, guys? I was wondering, Noah,
Ain't seen you
Yes.
in a while. Glad to hear Bleed the Sky is back.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
I am glad that we're back as well.
But I have a question. What do you guys think of the new Miss May I record and the new like so-called metalcore producer Joey Sturgis and Joey with his Joey Sturgis tones and coming out of nowhere just producing all these really good underground metal bands?
And see, I don't know too much about the band. What I know is the name Sturgis. Kevin Garcia, our guitarist, is a big fan, and he uses a lot of Sturgis stuff. I'm not too familiar with the band. I'm ignorant to it. I can't say yes, no, maybe. Aaron, are you familiar at all?
I'm not. I'm sorry.
Can you give us a little bit of information on the band? Sell us the band.
Well, they're from ironically they're from a really shitty area here in Ohio. So
a lot of good bands have been.
Yeah, but they're not from Cleveland, so like it's not like they're not part of the Cleveland scene, so not a whole lot of people would know who they were. They're more down by Columbus and Cincinnati.
Yeah. Okay.
They're metalcore, started off in the metalcore scene and gradually shifted towards a more melodic metalcore with some clean vocals instead of like just the growl.
Sure.
But they have a really good melody where it's not straight like in your face. You can bob your head to it, kind of like the first Bleed the Sky record. Ironically,
I hear that was a good album as well.
So you're saying the verses, the all the vocals are clean. Are you familiar with Woven War? Is it kind of like Woven War?
No, they're kind of like a heavier version of I Prevail.
I've heard of them.
Okay,
man,
I'm adding Miss May I to my Spotify as we speak.
Okay, and then from there, Aaron and I kind of whore each other's Spotify's back and forth. So I will have it from there.
Yeah, they're more of an underground metal band. Like they don't get a whole lot of recognition. Because of the scene that they were part of. I just wanted, since you guys are talking about like all things metal.
Yeah.
Obviously because of the show, but like when you were asking Austin, like since he listens to everything under the sun.
Sure.
Like the stuff that you guys listen to, like you guys check out like newer artists that are like kind of like the underground, under the radar.
Absolutely, man. I mean, that's Aaron.
That's part of what we want to do is learn. Aaron,
not do we talk on the phone daily, but how many times a day do we talk? And that's a rhetorical question. What I'm getting at is Aaron and I are on the phone every day, probably for hour and a half, not even just talking about this show, but we are constantly, dude, check this fucking band out. Dude, check this band out. Oh, I found this band. Oh, dude, I forgot about that record. I haven't listened to that since I'm 16 years. We're constantly like metal's just in our blood. So metal to us doesn't mean you have to, sound like Thy Art Is Murder, although I am a fan, and it doesn't mean you got to sound like Deicide or Meshuggah or, metal's so broad. That's the beauty of it. Cause Bleed the Sky was not the heaviest shit out there, but I feel like it was good. And is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Is that might not be the toughest thing out there or the most brutal thing, but it's still metal, right?
Yeah.
Well, part of what we wanted to do with this show also was learn. This isn't about Noah and I saying this is metal as we see it, and that's the fucking end.
Yep, that's correct.
It was we want calls like this. I want someone to call me in and go, "Hey, check these guys out," and educate me. So thank you, I appreciate that.
Oh man, that's what I do. Like I listen to all kinds of music. I find all kinds of bands. Like the new Amir record's just fucking insane.
I like the new Amir.
Same. I love the new. Like, I didn't know this. I didn't know this until I heard it on a podcast with Frankie. Like he's a huge Limp Bizkit fan, and you can actually finally tell with some of the newer stuff because of his vocal style. Like he still keeps the Amir, like his tone, but he adds that new metal hip hop element to it a little bit, which I think really complements what's going on with the music.
And dude, they are a rare breed. I can't name a second band in the style of Amir that is doing it successfully. Like they're a rare exception to that style working. You know what I mean?
between them and Veil Amaya. Yeah, the new Veil Amaya with their new vocalist.
That's a decent record too. I like that.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not super crazy about the choruses. I want Velamaya to stay heavy. And don't get me wrong, he does it well, and he's got a great voice. But I don't know. It's such a contrast to what they used to be. I'm pissing on it. I don't mean to piss on it, so I'm sorry. It's just such a contrast, and I'm like going, ah.
Well, there
I'm
you
being
go.
a weenie about
Pissed off one of our first callers. Thanks,
I'm
bud.
sorry.
Yeah, like just there's bands from like Michigan. This one band called hold on, what are they? I can't think of them. They mix the Amir style really well. They are called Gift Giver.
Gift Giver?
I haven't heard.
Gift Giver. Yeah, they mix like
one who gives gift. Gift Giver.
Gift Giver. They're from Michigan. It's everything that you would think Amir is with a Limp Bizkit sound, because it's literally like straight heavy nu metal.
Okay.
Yeah, like
hey, where are you calling us from, Bean?
I am calling you from outside Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, very nice. So
will you call us back our next show? This has been a really
you've been a great caller. I hope you call in on the regular.
Please.
Well, I've known Noah for a while. He just probably doesn't remember my name.
Wait a second. Would the last name after Bean happen to be Garcia?
It would be.
You son of a bitch.
Hey, wait. I know this guy too.
Wow. Why didn't you say that at the beginning, motherfucker?
Suspense.
Well, guess what? This is Noah Robinson. I didn't say my last name either, so boom.
Hey, we just talked about you this last weekend. Remember, you and I and Wayne were talking about this, and we talked about Bean Garcia.
Yeah,
just
Wayne was at my house this weekend. Yeah, and we talked.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. Hey, brother, we're going to get to some more calls, but please call back in. We should be on here, God willing, every Thursday night.
Thanks for being a part of the show, Bean. It's good talking to you, man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to check out Miss May I, and that new Amir is the shit. Good call.
You're going to share that with me. Hey, do we have another caller?
Yeah, I'm online.
Hey, Sean, right?
Yeah, Sean Twyman. I'm really.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm Aaron. And
what? Sean fucking Twyman, motherfucker. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? How you living, man?
Aaron, Sean, before you say anything about the new Seven Dust record, because I know that's probably why you called in. I'm not trying to burst your bubble, but let me tell you a quick story about this beautiful black man on the phone with us. May I?
Oh, of course.
Okay. So Sean and I, we're brothers from another mother, but we look a lot alike. People mistake us often in public. But this one night, Bleed the Sky had a night off down in Austin, Texas. Sean hits me up. He's like, "What are you doing, man? You guys are off." I said, "I don't know, but I want to get out of here, and I want to have some drinks, and I want to kick it with you. Let's do it." You know, the rest of the guys were like, "Oh, we're gonna take showers and sleep in, do laundry." I was like, "Fuck no, I want to get out from under the roof with all these same people." Sean, let's go out. So Sean and I go out. Do you remember where we went, Sean?
We went to the Red Rum because you
That's
guys
right.
were on tour with Dope, and they wanted to make it industrial night. So you guys weren't playing that show. I was pissed.
That's right. That's right. So we go to the Red Rum. Sean goes, "Dude, I know everybody in here. We don't got to pay for nothing. They love me. They love Bleed the Sky. Let's just go in. We'll kick it. We'll hang out." I'm like, "Man, I don't care. That's cool. Fuck yeah. Let's do it." So we go in there, hang out. Man, we only had what, like 2 cocktails?
Yeah, it's like 2 drinks.
Like 2 drinks, dude. Not even like brutal, like stiff drinks. We get in Sean's car to leave, and I get about, I don't know, we get a few miles down the road. We were gonna go to another bar, I believe, and we get right as we get onto the interstate, like 70-mile-an-hour road speed. All I could do was just put my hand over on Sean, like trying to alert him that something was amiss, and then vomit just like all over his dashboard, floorboard, my lap, just project uncontrollable. Sean goes, dude, what the fuck? Are you okay? And I was like, I don't know. So Sean just like squeals the tires and gets over onto the side of the highway. And, he's holding my hair back and pat me on the back, you're okay, girl. You're okay. So I get it all out and I'm just like, and at this point I'm like blacking out. I'm like, something is fucking wrong. I don't know what's happening. And we get back in the car. And do you remember this? You dropped me off at Kyle's house. You had to like walk me to the door. And my band members like answered the door. You're like, here, take this drunk, whatever. But then you got the car to drive home. How far away were you?
Yeah, I remember like there was like a Pantera sign. I was like, I'm gonna fucking steal that sign. Yeah. And you're like, fuck it. Apparently that's the hot sign. That they've replaced that sign like 50 times. I was like, I'm gonna fucking steal that sign. I'm gonna figure it out. But I got a block away from where I dropped you off, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? And then immediately had to pull over. Didn't even get out of my car. Just had time to roll the window down and just projectile like Exorcist style out the fucking window.
Dude, somebody roofied us. Do you know what that means, Sean? That means that you and I are
sexy bitches.
We are the most desirable. We are so desirable that women wanted to roofie us. We almost got Bill Cosby, bro.
Yeah, no shit.
Don't do that.
Don't what? Oh, Aaron's back? You missed a better part of the story, but what's up, brother? What are you calling in for? What do you want to talk about?
I just wanted to say, like, first and foremost, man, I miss the fuck out of you, man, and looking forward to like at some point getting together and having some brews with you. I won't roof you, I promise.
I would, and dude, I don't care if you roofie it as long as I know going in that that's what's going to happen. But I feel like both of us were caught off guard when it happened the first time.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, I was calling in just basically like, first of all, Seven Dust, I've only heard the 2 singles that they released. I've intentionally not listened to anything else because I love, like, there's nothing better when you're looking forward to a record, just getting it, finding a zone where it's quiet, and you can just listen to the record, right? You just listen to every fucking thing, absorb it all. That's what I want to do. Like, technology now, it makes it really fucking hard with shit leaking and all that other bullshit that happens, but it is what it is. I'm calling in just because we're all older. I'm tired of the fucking subgenres, man. Like the caller before me, he was talking about it. He kept saying metalcore and new metal, blah, blah. Remember back in the day where it was just metal?
Dude, and that's what we always, like, we got put into that metalcore, into that genre. But I remember when you and I first met and we would hang out, man, we're like, fuck no, we're a metal band. It's just metal.
We're metal. That's all it is. That's all it is. We're a metal band that likes to focus on groove, like the fucking heyday. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, at that time, like, I'm in a new band now, and all the time I played a completely different scene from what it was back before when I first started. And it's like before, when you're in a band, it's like the first question I ask you is, okay, what's your sound? And then you would try and tell them what the sound was. Now it's just like, okay, so what are you, metalcore? Are you death metal? Are you fucking gent? What are you? And I'm like, no, it's metal.
And all of those styles are so. I don't know. Most of those styles, especially those 3 you just listed: metalcore, deathcore, gent. 3 incredibly amazing, talented. I mean, all 3 of those subgenres of metal are filled with amazing bands. However, I mean, dude, so many bands are blurring that line. So what do? Do we create a new subgenre for?
No, we just let everything be fucking metal and we get over it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Is that what you're getting at, Sean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was talking to a kid. I was doing this podcast with my band, and we were talking about like just the styles, the trends, whatever. And I was like, dude, you got to realize you're a lot younger than me. I've seen a lot of shit. I hate to sound like, the dude that's always saying back in my day, but you'll learn through music that everything's reciprocal. Everything comes in fucking cycles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Back day, the new metal thing with Korn and the Deftones, all those guys coming back. There's a lot of fucking bands coming back with that style, just like before that happened. Metalcore I thought was just a fucking upgraded version of thrash metal. You know what I mean? It was just like it focused on technique and solos and shit like that, where kids were like, you play a solo, it's fucking gay. It's like, no, it's not. It's just it's talented. If you can make the solo work with the song and it fits, it fucking fits. And You know, it's like you got to understand that shit comes in cycles, man. So it's like instead of waiting for the next fucking legendary original thing, why don't you just enjoy the music for what it is? You know what I mean? Like that's. I'm an old man, dude. I feel myself not being grumpy like, you know, every band sucks, blah blah blah. I'm just tired of subgenres, man. It's like stupid.
That's a good point, and that's something.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're pigeonholing this shit so much and trying to define it and put it into these teeny tiny boxes that we won't allow ourselves just to step back and enjoy it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because who gives a good fuck what you call it, just like it.
But here's
or don't like it.
I think here's one of the downsides to the subgenre like that is if you hear enough bands that you feel are shitty and you look at the subgenre that they're in and it's all metalcore, then what's that going to do to you the next time somebody says, hey, check this band out. What style are they? Metalcore? Fuck that. I don't even want to listen to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's automatically discrediting a specific band or a certain band that you might otherwise really like because it was in that and I mean, but you can go back to, nu metal, back in the late 90s, early, mid 2000s. I think that was some of my favorite metal ever. But unfortunately, with some of that shit came some of the worst bands that have ever walked the planet. Two worst metal bands were in nu metal, and some of the best were in it. So I mean, you're gonna have good and bad, but I completely agree with you. Like just show me the fucking band. Show me Thy Art Is Murder, and don't tell me what style they are. And just let me appreciate it for what it is.
Exactly, and it's sad because it's like you were talking about pigeonholing. It's not just so much the shitty bands in the genre. It's the band wants to expand outside of what they're being pigeonholed. Like Whitechapel, their latest record is one of the fucking best records I've heard in the past few years. And it was a lot more dynamic. It was a lot more groove based. It wasn't so much death metal. It wasn't so much deathcore. It was that fucking fine line. But seeing kids want to shit on it. Oh, he sings. Oh my god.
Hey, how good is his voice, by the way?
Oh my god, dude, no bullshit. I told
who saw that coming
when I first heard it.
Yeah.
Velvet. I mean, like. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to get you off your thought. I just wanted to inject that. It just the pitch and tone that he's got with his clean tone vocals. I was like, wow, dude.
I want more. Personally, I want more. Like,
I don't like that, and not that he doesn't have a good voice. I don't really like Log with the clean tone.
I really don't. I
not that Randy can't do it. Randy does it really, really, really well. And the first song that they released that was with the clean tone stuff had such an Alice in Chains vibe. I was like, this is in my wheelhouse at first. But then after a while, I was like, well, but that's what I want Alice to be. Log, I want you to be Log. And I know I'm kind of contradicting what we're saying. But anyway, I'm just throwing. I like bands. I like bands trying new things, but I also want to be able to have conversations about them, whether we like them or we don't like them. Doesn't mean it's bad, though.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, and I agree with you. And I think it's just, I applaud, and I wasn't really feeling, the clean ones. I kind of felt it was forced. You know what I mean? It wasn't
that's exactly it.
As what Phil did in Whitechapel. You know what I mean? But at the exact same time, I give kudos for him for fucking being like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to try it. You know, we may not hear it again. He may try it again on the next record. I'm curious to see what happens. But, I mean, don't fucking fall into the pigeonhole. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to try new shit,
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, I've known Noah for a long time. He knows I can scream a fucking head off. You know what I mean? But I'm old now, so I want to focus on melody. I want to fucking focus on hooks. I know I can scream. So why don't I challenge myself, to something different just because, you know what I mean?
Good luck. I've been trying it with the new ESR stuff. We thought about it. I'm fucking awful at it. So I'm going to just keep screaming until I'm 80, I guess. Just
hey, there you go.
The whole time and
do it whatever. Do it till you can't anymore.
Belt it till your back breaks, brother.
There you go, homie.
Yeah, Sean, we love you, buddy.
Love you too, brother.
Hey, please.
I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I fucking love the show, man. I listen to it, man. I'm fucking stoked for you. And
awesome.
Please
be a regular.
Soon, I promise.
Please call in.
Absolutely.
Every Thursday, we're gonna have the same show. We want a good group of regulars as well as a rotating list of new callers and things like that. But I think in order to help bring some of the new callers in, we need the regulars. We need people to be comfortable calling in and not be nervous or embarrassed. And people like you calling in that, how long has it been since you and I talked on the phone? Probably what, close to 2 years, almost 2 years?
Year and a half, something like that.
Year and a half. And look, we just picked right up like we talked yesterday on the phone.
Yep, like family, man.
Hell yeah, brother. It never goes away. Hey, we love you, buddy. Thanks for calling in.
Love you too, brothers. You got
All right.
it.
Later,
Hey, it's good to meet you, Sean. Any more calls? You better get in now because we're about to wrap things up.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call it, Aaron. I think we're gonna call it on Sean. How do you feel about that?
I'm good with that. I think it's I appreciate everybody that stuck with us through all the technical difficulties. We'll get better and better with these things.
And a lot of it's
got a lot of
listeners. I think a lot of it's going to be up to the listeners. Let's hear your opinions. Give us comments. Send us emails, shoot us messages on Facebook, any of our social media sites. Like, let us know what you guys want to hear, what you guys want to see. Give us your opinions. We're not gonna give a shit about every single one, but we'll pick some. And if 10 of them we get one good idea out of it, then great, and we'll give you absolute 100% credit. We want this. We want this to be exciting for you guys as well.
Yeah, it needs to be. We want it to be an interactive show, not just us, but between us and the fans. So, and the
nobody
listeners
really
and callers
cares about just us talking.
Right.
Nobody.
And hey, if feel free to critique us. We want honest feedback. Don't be dicks. There's no reason to call in and go, "Huh, you're bald, your beard's gray." Yeah, I know I'm bald, and my beard's gray. It's all good.
But again, like you said earlier, and we don't know everything. We're not doing this podcast because we are the gods of metal knowledge and our opinion is law. That's absolutely not the case. We want fans to correct us.
We're just the gods of metal.
We're just a couple old farts with nothing but daughters. We're highly outnumbered in our homes, and we fucking love metal, and that's it.
We had to figure out a way once a week to get back in the room and have drinks and talk metal and
exactly
get away from the estrogen.
Dude, my wife is okay with me having cocktails tonight when I got to be at work in the morning. How's that sound, Darren?
That sounds great. It's Scott. Wait, real quick. Scott Leonard on Facebook. That band is called Abrams, Abrams, out of Denver, Colorado. I think on Facebook their page is Abrams Rock. I hope that answers your question, Scott Leonard on Facebook.
We want to give a huge shout out to our production team, Derek and Alex. Yeah. Man, it's one thing to run a show when it runs smoothly and to do it well, but the fact that you guys absolutely busted ass and scrapped together when last second we had everything
crashed. Literally 2 minutes before we were supposed to go on air at 8:30, the whole thing ate shit.
We were on it for 15, 20 minutes before that, just prepping everything, and then all of a sudden,
we were done. I was eating dinner.
Computer said, "Nope, not going to work." So Derek, Alex, thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.
You guys did awesome with this. Again, fans, it's only going to get tighter, cleaner, better. So please stick with us on this. We're going to have a couple upcoming segments and bits that we're going to try to have as reoccurring. One is the unsigned artist segment.
Yeah. Submit your shit. Unsigned band, submit your stuff.
We've already had a couple.
Go ahead. Sorry.
We've already had a couple. We didn't want to pick one of the couple that we had yet because we had to. Does that make sense? We wanted to wait until we kind of had a little bit of a pile, and then Aaron and I can go through it. And we really do want to give our valued opinions about the music, as well as you guys can be featured as a guest on here, a member of your band. So please email us your band press kits or whatever music you have to represent you guys at allthingsmetalpodcast@gmail.com. That's allthingsmetalpodcast@gmail.com.
I'm going to set up a Twitter for us tomorrow. I can't believe we haven't done it yet. But hopefully that'll be All Things Metal Podcast as well. You've already found us on Facebook. Interact with us. Don't be afraid. Send us your stuff. This show is only going to get better as we interact together and we build this show together.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Aaron, I had a blast. How about you?
It's awesome. Really, really, really a lot of fun. We'll get the kinks worked out, and wait till you guys see what our production team has in store coming up. We've got a lot of great ideas. We've got about a dozen shows idea-wise up there that it's going to get better and better.
We're going to continue to weekly have special guests. Austin, We want to give him a big shout out for being our very first. You always remember your first, baby.
You always remember your first.
Remember your first.
10 to 11s.
Austin was our first, Aaron.
Oh, girl.
and we got him together. That's great.
Yep.
But with that being said, we're going to have more guests every single week. We're going to have some big name guests, some surprising guests, as well as, producers, radio DJs, anybody that's in the industry. It's not just going to be musicians. So you guys, please.
We're going to talk beer in a couple of weeks.
Yes, we are. So please stay
Tattoos.
tuned. Thank you to all our sponsors, Carl's Jr., the Hofburger. I think we had a Bill Cosby PSA in there. I know we had Pee Wee Herman doing a PSA. That was great.
Nice.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Noah.
I'm Aaron. Thank you for coming out.
This is All Things Metal.